Hey everyone, happy Sunday afternoon. This is just a random live I wanted to do over the weekend. I made some previous preparation, but I ordered some streaming stuff, so I have a light on top of my screen. So let me just turn it on and see if you notice anything on the video. Okay. Yeah, I think you can see it. Nice. Okay, and I have a new phone holder with the camera case and everything. So now it's recording correctly. And I also ordered a mic, but I couldn't get it to connect nor to my laptop and nor to my phone. So I'm just using the laptop microphone. Hopefully it's recording correctly. Okay, so today I'm going to be working in GohighLevel. I'm going to be just working, and then if you have any questions, drop it to the chat. But basically, it's going to be a GohighLevel overview. This is also going to be shared as a video series because I'm going to show how I'm making a webinar for a client from zero. So we are building step one, we are building a landing page. Step two, we are going to set up the automations inside HighLevel. So it's going to include creating the form, creating the automation to send an email follow-up, and then we are going to do a Google campaign. So we are going to be advertising on Google with keywords. So it's a search campaign. I'm going to do the tag setup and show you everything. So first, I'm inside HighLevel. On the sides, I'm building a new funnel. So you'll see it in the previous video, but I already have a domain, a name, um, favicon. I added everything already. And I made a basic design. So let me just show you in a new tab. Mm, Actually, we need one small update here because we updated the time. Previously, it was Sundays, and now we are moving it to every Monday. So let's just update it. So we originally had August 17th, and we are going to push it one day to the 18th. So change here to 18th. And then the PST time is going to be changed to 3:30. So 3:30 PST, and the same here, 3:30 PST. Okay, so we have a countdown. Now we also need to make sure this time is updated. So let's look at, it's going to redirect to the home page once it expires. And then, okay, I need to update the end time to the 18th, and then 3 p.m. Okay, we can either do 3 p.m. or 4 p.m. So let's just do it 3. So I'm going to update this to 3 p.m. and then 3 p.m. here as well. Okay. So this is how the landing page looks. Super simple, easy copy. I just made the copy with ChatGPT. It's going to be in the video I'm going to post. We have some text about the host for the webinar, what you will walk away with, a couple of points of why you should attend to the webinar, and then another call to action, which is going to redirect you to the pop-up. So if you click this button or this button at the top, it's going to open the pop-up. So let's see the pop-up, it's here, and then we need to add a form for this. So we don't really have this form created, so that's going to be our next step. So let's go back to HighLevel, go to forms, and then to builder. Now we need a new form. So add form, starts from scratch, and it's going to be for the webinar. Okay, so let's wait for this to load. We have plenty of forms already. Let's just change it to the webinar sign up. So we'll need a first name, a last name, phone number, not really. We are not doing SMS campaigns currently. And then we have the privacy policy, terms of service. So we should have the URL for these. Let me just see the URL. Okay. Um, so I only need one of these. So I'm going to keep the first one, delete the second one. Okay. So by checking the box, they basically agree to the marketing. SMS, email. Now, just to do some basic design, I'm going to update this submit button to be the same color as the webinar button. So we click on this one, go to the background color, select it, and then just copy, and then paste here, looking for colors and background, bottom background, just paste it. Okay, let's do it again. Bottom background. Hmm, it's not doing it for some reason. Let's see. So let's just save what we have now. Okay, bottom background, yes, click inside, enter the code. It's not saving it. Okay, it should be over here. Let's just hit save. Okay, now let's enter privacy policy as well. So we already have a home page where we have the privacy policy, terms of service. So let me just pull it up in a separate tab and I'm going to include it. So you can just select it, click on the link, and then you can insert it. So currently I have, second, okay, so I had to take this URL from a previous form. So let's just go, let's save this one and then we go back, publish. We actually already have the form ready that we can insert. So let's go back to the pop-up, go to the form and then select the form, webinar, sign up. Okay, and then we need to change the headline, which is just going to be something super simple. Secure your spot to the free webinar, and maybe we can add a subheadline to start your reset today. We can make this subheadline a bit smaller. Let's say a number 15 might be too small. Number 20, yes. Okay, let's hit save. And because this whole webinar is going to be about nervous system reset and how you can finally feel like yourself again. So once we have this, we need to update this button at the bottom of the page. Again, it's going to go to the open pop-up, and the pop-up is working. So that's good for now. Now, it's important before we finish the setup to set it to mobile mode and make sure everything's great. Because most of the traffic is going to come from mobile services, mobile devices, sorry. And then, for example, this headline is way too big, this title. So if you change the font here, you see this small icon with the font. This is specifically for the phone. So it's only going to be adjusted on this device. We need to make the font a bit more readable. So let's say 35, and then this subheadline, which is just a supporting text. Let's just make it a 20, which is still quite long. This one is not centered either, and we don't have the button shown correctly. So we have to update it. Okay, so first 35, let's make it 17, and then we have to update this button because it doesn't look good. What I like to do is for the phone layout, just clone this and only show it on the phone. So the first is going to stay on the desktop because you see now we duplicated it and now it's on both on the desktop and mobile as well. So the first one we only keep on desktop. So we have to go to styles and then unselect the phone. So that means it's only going to be visible on the desktop. You see it already disappeared. And then the second one is only going to be visible on the phone. So now we have two different buttons to work with. This webinar, so we need a background color. Okay. And same on the desk on the phone. So I'm looking for the background color. We already have it set. This is the brand purple. Okay. And now we just need to center it. So it says the alignment should be in the middle. It's not quite correct. So let's just try to add another button. And we'll copy the text. Okay. We'll copy the background color. And then we have a linking icon, which we are just going to copy. And then we are going to search for the same. Yes. Mm. Then we just need to delete this button, and we have a normal looking button for the phone layout. So we need to make sure we unselect the desktop visibility, and it's only going to be on the phone. So now this is how the phone looks, and this is how the desktop looks. Now moving forward, let's go down. Your host is again quite huge, this text. So we are going to use the same sizes. So for the headlines, it's going to be 35 font size. So we are going to update this one. And then the subheadline is going to be 17. Currently 18, let's update to 17. This one can stay 18. And then this one I just changed to 30. Okay, perfect. Another title, headline, so it's gonna be 25. And then these are going to be 17 all. Just to make sure the text and the font sizes are all the same. So it's not you are scrolling and once you have a 40, once you have a 35, once you have a 28, we may want to make sure it's a bit more unified. So let's update all of these to 17. Okay. 17, 17, and just repeat it for all the steps. Okay. Now we have some more headlines which we are going to keep the same size. Actually, I'll change this one on desktop as well to be the same. So I want it to be 35. So this one is going to be the biggest one, 35. This one 30. this one, um, like 30 as well. I think let's make it the same one because it doesn't look great for mobile. And then make all of these a bit smaller. So let's get to 20. Let's see with the 17. And just make this 30. Yep. It's the same line. And then this button now it looks okay, all correct. So it's currently visible on both desktop and mobile as well, which is fine. So now let's just make sure the action this button does is opening the pop-up. Yes. So button action link to open pop-up, which is what we want. And now let's see how the pop-up looks on mobile. It looks all good. Okay. Maybe it's a bit too long. So we need to make this a bit shorter. That's going to be action inside the form. So now the landing page is all good. We can just save and publish. Go back to desktop and then go back to the forms. So we need to go back here and then go back to the forms again because I want to see another form that I can just copy the privacy policy and terms of service from. So I just update it in a separate tab. Let's go back to the form. Maybe we can make this message shorter or so. Okay, so let's just keep it at marketing and promotional messages. Let's just do marketing messages. And then just reply help. Let's just do reply stop to opt out. Now this is very shorter. Submit button. Okay. And we just have to do this at submit. We need the privacy policy first. So let me just search on the other tab. Okay. So here's another form I'm using. Okay, so I have the privacy policy right here. So let's just select, click the link button, and we enter the URL, privacy policy, yes, next terms of service. Going to link it, and then let me switch to the other form, terms of service. See the link. Here's the terms of service, yes. Let's make sure this works. Yeah, there we have it. Okay, so insert link, form, and now this should be working correctly. Okay, so we need to save this one. Next, we have the settings. So this is once they opt in, they are going to receive this message. Thank you for taking the time to complete this form. Let's just add that we'll send the webinar information in email shortly. Make sure to check your promotions and spam folder as well. Okay, so now it's all good. We can add tracking ID and Facebook pixel events, but we don't really need to worry about this one because we are going to be promoting with Google Ads. We can do sticky contact. That means if they have previously filled out an information on the desktop they are using, it's going to just pre-fill their name, their email address, their phone number, if we were using phone number, and next we need to go to submissions. So this is a list where we can see who filled out the form. This form is not live, so it's empty. So let's just save this form and then just again make sure everything's working correctly. Okay, so let's just click here on styles and options. I will click on advanced. What I'm looking for is, let me just show you. Okay, so everything should be good. Okay, let's just save this one. And then next, go back to the funnel. We have to do a thank you page. And we don't need anything else because this was from a template that I'm using from GohighLevel. So we can just go ahead and delete all these. Just delete. We basically need the thank you page only. So we can delete everything else, the sales page. Yeah, delete. Checkout page we don't need. This one we can also delete. Okay, and we also delete the booking because we won't have a booking page. Instead, we'll send the information in email. It's going to be a Zoom call, Zoom link. Now we just need to update the URLs. So this is webinar registration and the thank you page is thank you. Yeah, that's what I wanted to set it. So it's all good. I'll actually just have to update the colors on this one. And I think the easiest way to do it is let's just open this in a new tab at the thank you page. Also, let's just do edit. And we are just going to update the branding. We could also duplicate the home page. It's going to be about the same time. So we don't use actually anything in the footer that we can delete. And then in the header, we just have this section. Actually, maybe it's going to be just easier if you duplicate this one. So let's just go back and duplicate the booking page. And we are going to rename it to thank you. So clone funnel step in this funnel. Okay. And we can also delete the thank you page. And then we have the clone to work with. Webinar registration clone. We are going to go to the settings, to publishing, and rename it to thank you. Thank you. And then webinar thanks is going to be the URL name. Now once it's saved, let's go back to overview and then we'll just edit. Okay, so we'll leave this at the top. And we no longer need this page. We can leave the your host here, but we no longer need the button because they already clicked it because it's the thank you page. Now, so we can still leave the countdown. We just need to update the headline and subheadline for this. So I'm just going to take a screenshot here, and then we use the AI magic. So I have ChatGPT here. We have the new version GPT-5. So let's just enter, and this is the thank you page for the webinar. I'm not even sure if the screenshot is showing correctly, but basically I'm just going to do the prompt is that this is the thank you page for the webinar, and after they click the button to get the email with the webinar information. So it's going to spit out everything, and then we can just take it and just paste. Okay. And then we should be ready. So we can just save. We also, actually, we can just leave it. This is the SEO metadata, so the headline for the page is going to be showing here in the browser section. Mm, You can actually just update this one. Your spot is reserved. Then update the SEO metadata, so we need to save again, and then hit publish. And then we are all set. Okay, so next step is going to be setting up the tracking, and then we have set up the Google Ads for this. So it should be around another 20 minutes, nothing crazy. So let me just prepare the Google Ad account, and then we'll continue from there. Okay, so let's move to the Google Ad account. We are currently on the overview, so what we need now is to set up the tracking. So let's just go to goals. It's going to be conversions and summary. So we have to add a new conversion action. So we need to create conversion action, and then actually we'll use this website. No phone calls needed, and we just need the URL for this funnel. So we need to go back to high level and then enter this webinar registration. Let's just make sure it's live first. Okay, so it's working correctly. Everything pops up. Great. Okay, so this is the URL we need. There's actually something we need to fix is you see this one pops up automatically, and also if you click the button, the pop-up. So we need to fix it first. So go back to edit the funnel, and then under the pop-up settings, we have to disable. So click what pop-up settings, show pop-up on, and change it to none. And then we can also disable the pop-up. Yes. Let's make sure it was saved. Okay. Let's just save it. Again, hit publish. And let's just double check. So open a new tab, enter the URL. And now it shouldn't pop up automatically. Even if I try to exit, nothing happens. But if I click, okay, so now it's completely disabled. Let's go back to the pop-up. And then we don't need to disable the pop-up, just make sure it's not showing up. So, okay, let's save again, publish, and then test the URL again, open a new tab. And now it shouldn't pop up automatically, only if we press the button. Okay, it's working well. We need to go back to Google Ads, and then this is the website where we are going to measure the conversions. Let's scan, and it's not going to find any pixel or any Google tags on here. So I'll show you how to fix it real quick. Okay, so it's not installed, so we need to install a new Google tag. So I just click Setup. It's going to give us a code. So we are going to install it manually. Let's click this button to copy and go back to high level. Go back, and we need to stay inside the funnel and go to settings. And this is a tracking code, so it has to be inside the head tracking code. Let's just paste it, and here's the Google tag. First, make sure to save it. And then you can also make sure it's working by just opening a new tab, pasting the URL, and then if you have the browser extension, we are looking for Tag Assistant, and it should track that we have a Google tag on it, which we have. It's tracking page views. So let's go back to Google Ads now and see if it also sees. I just have so many tabs open, I can't even find Google Ads. Okay, let's test installation. So it doesn't see it, but we know we have the AV ending in 180. So this is that's installed on the website. So let's go back to the website again. And then we see that the Google tag is the same number. So it's installed correctly. We just need to give it some time to track. So let's retest until it works. It's even using the correct URL. And now it says installed on site. Okay, so we can just finish here, click done. and we can continue. So we can select what kind of event we want to track here. Mm, let's see all. And I want a new event that we are not tracking correctly. So this is a webinar sign up. We need something similar. So this is actually the conversion that we are going to be tracking on the thank you page. So it's not really a purchase. We are already tracking signups. So I think it should be sign up or submit lead form. You can basically choose whatever you prefer. I'm just thinking of what other goals we have. So let me just go to the Google Ads account and then let's see what we already have an active campaign and I want to see what actions we are running. So let's go to Google Ads and then let me just see what actions we are running now. So I'm on the campaign level, campaigns, because we are currently running one Google campaign that's for mm, a lead magnet that we have. And that's for the event. Okay. So the other campaign is optimizing to submit lead form. Here's the preview. It's a submit lead form. So I think for this one, use sign up instead. So they signed up for the web. Okay, we need to create a new conversion action. Again, this is going to be a manual setup. So set up manually using a code. Let's click done. You can also track the thank you URL. It's pretty much the same, but I'm going to use the manual code. Okay, so for this, we'll have to go back because it's already set up. So we can just save and continue. Now we are going to set up with the snippet. So we need to go back to high level, go back to the funnels, and then we need to go back to the thank you page and then click edit because this is the page that we want to track. The conversion action is going to be the thank you page because once they filled out the form, this is where they go to the thank you page. So this is where we need to track. So we are looking for the tracking code and inside the header tracking, we are going to install the code for the conversion action. So this is going to be for the sign up. Let's see event snippet and then we are going to copy this. It's going to be on page load. We can close this, go back to the funnel and then enter to the header tracking. Let's click save and then publish the new page with the tracking code. And now if we go back, it should be tracking. So first let's go to the Google and make sure it's all good. Let's click finish. Okay, so now we need to go back to the funnel and check if the URL is actually tracking the conversion action. So I'm just going to open a new tab, paste the URL, and then again we are looking for the extension, and then I'm looking for tag assistant. Let's find the Google tag that we have, which is one ending in 180, and you see it's tracking conversion. So that's good. It means it's working correctly. So now what we need is we need to disable the pop-up because it keeps popping up and we no longer need the form on the thank you page. So let's just go inside, click edit, and then we need the pop-up settings, and then we are going to disable the pop-up on the thank you page because we don't need it here at all. Okay, so let's hit publish. And now all we need to do is set up the Google campaign. I'm going to pull up the Google Ads Manager in just a second. Okay, so before we start on the Google campaign, there's actually one more important step that we need to do is inside the pop-up on the main page, we have to go inside the form and then we have an action, button actions, and it's going to be a redirect action because once they fill out this form, we want them to go to the thank you page. So we need to set go to website URL, or we can also do next step, which is going to be the thank you page. So it's really important to have it. Make sure you add it or add your website URL, and then that can be your thank you page. But in our case, next step just works perfectly fine because this is a simple funnel and we only have two steps. So let me just show you what I'm talking about. Let's publish again, and then we can go back. Okay, now finally published. Let's go back. And then you see we have two steps. And this is the first one where we have the form. And then the next step is going to be the thank you page. So it's all perfect. Now we can go and set up the Google Ads. So we already have a campaign that's converting well. So I'm just going to duplicate the same one, update the ad copies, and basically that's all. So I'm going to campaigns, and then here's the campaign that we have correctly. This is with the lead magnet, as I mentioned earlier. So we are just going to duplicate this one. You can just copy and just paste. So it's going to be, we just adjust the start date, which is going to be today. We are starting this Sunday. And then no end date. We are going to run it continuously. So let's paste. And then once it's pasted, we are going to update the ad copies and some of the keywords as well for the ads. So we can keep it running in the background, and then we go back to ChatGPT and then prompt it to make some ad copies for the Google Ads. So basically, I just told it that we are starting a Google search ad campaign for this webinar, and then we need descriptions, headlines, long headlines, everything for the Google Ads. So once we have it, just press enter, and it's going to give us everything we need. And if we go back to the Google Ads, we already have the campaign live. So this is just number two, but we are going to go inside and update everything. Um, so let's just wait for it to load. We also need to update the primary action. So name is going to be a webinar, but it's still a search campaign. I just need to save this one. So webinar, search, let's save. It's going to be a lead campaign. And then what we need is signups. So change campaign goal, and then we are going to use signups only. Um, Make sure you have it save every step. So going to be signups. We are starting at $10 per day and only using Google Search Network. So we don't need display network. We don't need anything else. And then we are aiming for leads. No, nothing else set. We are going US, and then I was actually thinking of updating the US location to cities, and I already made a list. This is basically high income cities where we expect to have the best audience. So we can change the locations and enter another location, and then we can just paste New York City, include, and then I'm going to use these cities from the list. San Francisco, Los Angeles, San Diego. I'm not going to paste all of these, just maybe maximum 10, 5 to 10. So Miami, we want to include Chicago as well. And then let's do one more. Let's do Austin, Texas. Include, and we'll save this. Okay, no IP exclusions. We don't need anything else. We change the language to English. It's going to our website, and then it's all good. Okay, so now let's go inside, and then we are going to go to ad groups. So let's edit this one also. So ad group name is basically can be the same, and I'm going to be using the same keywords as I have in the other campaign. Mm, No locations of interest. So everything will be the same. But actually, if we go to the ads level, here is where we can update. Okay, let me just select the core campaign webinar, ad groups. Okay, so I only want this campaign, the webinar campaign. the ad groups, and then inside we need to go to the ads. So here is where we are going to update the ad copies because it's currently for the previous campaign that we have. And we also need to update the final requirement. So for this, we'll have to go back to high level. Should be here, webinar registration, update the final URL, and then we need 15 headlines. So we just made it with ChatGPT. Let's look what we have. We have the 15 headlines, we have the descriptions, we have the long descriptions, and everything. So let's just keep adding these. First, I'm going to delete what we already have. But most of it is the same messaging because we're using the same target audience, same everything. So just going to keep this headline the same. What we'll update is the longer descriptions because that's where we talk about a PDF. This one is also incorrect. We'll update this. Um, my screen is giving up. Okay. So now just make sure we don't talk about any PDF. And now we have the four descriptions. I just move GPT to another screen so I can just more effectively copy paste everything. We need to update all these descriptions. Okay. This number 4 can actually stay. Add the business name. We'll add the business logo as well, which is just an image that we are using. And then also add the images that we have. So basically using the same ones for the campaigns. We don't really need to worry about this for a search campaign. And now we need the descriptions. Okay, so we have number 1. Okay, it's way too long. I need up to 90 characters. And then once we have it, basically we are finished. So we have the landing page design ready. We added the form that's going to the correct thank you page. And then we added the tracking. So the Google tag is working accurately. Now we just have to set up an email automation, which I'm going to do in another live video. Um, and then basically we are finished with this campaign. So I'm going to launch these ads today and then report back on performance. So I'm just going to copy paste these descriptions and end the stream. So if you have any questions, just let me know in the chat and I'll check it.